Hi, my name is Sara Sprance, and I'm here to talk to you about why it's a really good idea to become an IDF volunteer. First of all, when I was diagnosed 9 years ago, I had no clue about anything regarding this illness. And for several years, I only knew what I learned at my immunologist's office. But what I was experiencing, no one could tell me anything about. And I don't mean just the sickness, I mean the change in my life. I used to tell people that it was a very singular walk to have this illness. By singular, I mean you're all alone. There's no one on that road, at least back then, there was no one on that road coming up alongside of me saying, I know how you feel. There wasn't anybody. Nobody coming this way in the opposite direction who may have been at this type of life long before I joined to tell me, oh, watch out for this pitfall or pothole, or this will be better if you do it this way. There was no one. And so I felt very, very alone. I used to tell a particular doctor of mine, I feel like an alien from another planet that was sent to planet Earth to look like Earthlings, live like Earthlings, but that's where it ends. Everything internally was totally different. So there was no one really to talk to except for my doctor and his staff, and they've been wonderful. But then one day when I was in the hospital admitting office, being admitted for my IVIG treatment, the girl behind the desk said, we have a box here for you. And I said, box? And they said, yeah, it came through the mail. And I said, I'm here that often that I'm getting mail here? And it was a box. It was like this. And it was from IDF. So while I was in the hospital for the 34 hours that the IVIG treatment sometimes lasted, I had a lot of reading to do. I was so amazed that there was an organization out there where everybody at that organization knew what this was like, knew what it was about because they had children or spouses or somebody close to them that had to live with this. I didn't feel so alone. I didn't have anyone in my personal life, but I could call IDF offices and talk with someone or ask questions or request more literature. I love reading, and I couldn't get enough information to read on PI, and it was a little bit of a lifesaver because I was able to do something that I like to do. I always believe that if you educate yourself about anything, it empowers you. It enables you to deal with whatever the situation is. So my thing about being a volunteer is this. It not only helps people that are new to this, it also helps patients that are dealing with this. It's always good to have somebody that knows exactly what you're going through. There's a difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is, wow, I'm so sorry. Empathy is, I know. I feel your pain because I've been there. It's a lot better, and it gives you more support. At the very least, it gives you somebody that can understand what you're saying. And the folks at IDF are fantastic. I'm just finishing the retreat that was held June 17th through today, the 19th, in Boston. Well, it's outside of Boston. And it was my first time meeting people with this illness. and there were over 300 of us. So I have been having a blast. And IDF sponsored it, put it on. They've been here, they've taught us, they've spoken with us, they've put their arms around us. People that I've just only spoken by telephone now have a face. So my thing is this. If you're feeling like you're the only one on earth with this, call IDF, get whatever literature, and they've got plenty of it. Oh, and by the way, it's free. They'll send it to you for nothing, whatever you ask for. And start making relationships with the people at IDF. And then see if you don't want to volunteer to just help somebody that's coming up after you. I sort of look at this experience as a mountain climbing experience. You know those people that climb up Everest? They don't climb side to side. They climb one in front of the other, and they're tethered. They're tied to one another by a big rope. And the whole deal is one goes up to a place, he turns around and helps the other one up. Well, this is the same thing. When you have PI, even though it's not so rare, no one's ever heard of it. I still get doctors that see me for the first time, and before they go into their whole thing, I say, listen, have a seat. Do you know what primary immunodeficiency is? And if they say, no, I say, sit down, we're going to talk. And then I tell them everything that I know as a patient. Then I pull out something from IDF and I say, here, help yourself. Just get used to it. And if you want to be on Team Sara, then you're welcomed. Listen, it's a great way to pay back. It's a great way to find a purpose for having this illness, or finding something positive that you can do with it other than just take care of yourself, which is very important. But it's also good to give back. So, try it. What's it going to hurt?